So the Bills moved on from Sean McDermott this offseason after 9 years as head coach. No Super Bowl appearances to show for it. But instead of bringing in fresh blood, Buffalo promoted offensive coordinator Joe Brady with the hope of getting Josh Allen over the hump. Some criticized the move, but GM and new president of football operations Brandon Beane is not listening to the noise. Beane said to Tyler Dunn of Go Long, quote, "Beat the outside. It's about the right selection for this team. And if we win, they'll love it. It's the same thing I said when I took Josh Allen. If I'm wrong, the moving company will be at my house, so I understand. And I'm not going to have regrets of choosing someone to appease the outside if I thought it should have been something different. If I'm wrong, I'll beeping take my job and beeping go home." Beeping, you fill in the blank. Okay? Stephen A., were these comments fair or foul by Brandon Beane?
They were very foul. They were very foul. Bills Mafia, you hear how he's talking about you? You give a damn what you think? You give a damn what he says? That's what he said. That's what he said. Nobody asked him to say all of that. He said all of that. And he's missing the big picture. Okay? Nobody sat up there and said he's an awful general manager. What they said was there were problems that extended beyond the coaching. But the coach who guided you to the best record in football over the previous 6 years, who took you to 2 AFC championship games, you threw him out with the bathwater. But you didn't just get retained, you got elevated.
Yep.
And oh, by the way, this came months after reportedly McDermott walked into the owner's office and said, yo, we don't have a Super Bowl championship roster, which no doubt somebody like Beane, considering his personality, took personally and was like, wait a minute now, you pointing the finger at me. It should be pointed at you. And he ends up being the one out the door. Nobody said that Beane should be fired. What we said was that McDermott shouldn't have been fired. And if McDermott goes, you go, because clearly he had to deal with the hand he was dealt. And you were the one who dealt it to him. And so to turn around and to engage in profanity and to be profane and talking the way that he's talking, like, oh my God, like you're listen, it's one thing to be sensitive to people questioning your character as a man, like he did in the immediate aftermath of the press conference with Pagula. Totally understand that. Your wife is watching, your kids, whatever. I got that part. But this was about your job performance. We're still sitting here asking, how the hell did you get a promotion? How did you get a promotion if McDermott got fired? You the one that gave him the tools to work with. It clearly wasn't good enough, like he said. And as a result, they home. And he's without a job. You didn't just keep your job. You got promoted. That smells. That means somebody was scapegoated. And whether Brandon Beane likes it or not, his name is written all over that. That's on him.
Yeah, I agree with Stephen A. 100%. I've said very similar things about this. I will say that I'll take it even further. If you look at the Bills roster construction, and you talk about McDermott said, "Hey, we're not super." It's obvious. How many Pro Bowlers have you drafted since Josh Allen? 2, right? Like, I mean, it's not like you're just a litany of players you continue to bring in. This was a very good football team that was well coached. You basically put the bullseye on yourself and this organization by bringing attention that didn't need to be. I mean, why even address that? Why whatever all that is? It didn't even make sense to me.
So defensive for no reason.
At the end of the day, you just hired a brand new coach. Less is more. Less is more in the situation. Hey, we're going to build the team up, because here's the reality of the situation. You got to go to the Super Bowl to be an improvement on what McDermott has done. He took you to the AFC Championship game, 2 years ago? Then they go to the playoffs. They lose in overtime to the 1 seed, right, on the road, and he gets fired for it. And you get promoted. There are issues to me all the way through that. I've made them very clear what I felt about Sean McDermott, not believing he deserved to be let go. But at the end of the day, it will not be the same roster. I will guarantee you this. All that he's saying, he's going to get receivers that can go make Josh Allen's job a lot easier. He's going to go get players on the defensive side that are healthy and stronger and give them better presence. That's all McDermott was asking for in the first place. So all you're doing is he put the bullseye, but he's going to be like, hey, look what I did now. Look what I did, because that roster is going to change. McDermott did as much as he could with what he had this past season. I firmly believe that.
When you ask, is it fair, is it foul? I agree with you guys, foul. But let me say this. I understand where Brandon Beane is coming from, and I appreciate it. Hear me out, fellas. When you're in a situation that they're in, we're talking about Stephen A. mentioned Bills Mafia. Everybody on the outside world is criticizing the decision to move on from Sean McDermott, which I want to remind you guys is not Brandon Beane's decision. That's ownership's decision. He doesn't decide to promote himself. That's ownership's decision. So they made that. So now if you're in that Bills locker room, that Bills facility, everybody else on the outside is pointing at you and saying, you are the idiots that made this dumb decision and you're going to pay for it. Brandon Beane saying, you know what? To everybody in the locker room, hear my message. To everybody, staff, coaches, everyone included, the hell with everybody else. This is about us. This is the move that we decided is the best for our football team. Let's go out, let's own it, and let's take that next step of trying to get to the Super Bowl. But the players are going to have to answer the question about Sean McDermott as soon as the season starts back up. I think what Brandon Beane is doing is saying, you know what? You guys can all point to me. Everything falls on me. Josh Allen, you don't worry about Sean McDermott losing his job. You can point to me. That's on me. You guys have to believe that what we're doing is the right decision and go out there and prove us all right and go, to your point, win that game to get to the Super Bowl.
Well, again, you're wrong, J-Mac.
Oh.
Respectfully, you're wrong. And I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. Because
Please
when you look at the roster that was assembled, the fact that all of this stuff came down the pike after McDermott reportedly said, we don't have a Super Bowl roster, that has a lot to do with it. The owner could say what he wants to say. Did that owner sound like he made sense to you that day? Right. Do you want to go back and watch the press conference again? I mean, did you listen to that man? Did you listen? I mean, you said that. I mean, listen, he's successful. I mean, listen, you're successful. You know what you're doing. You understand? But, I mean, you talk about somebody that seemed just a bit detached from reality. Well, I made the decision after I walked into the locker room and I saw Josh Allen crying. That's the first time he cried. He didn't cry when he lost in the AFC Championship game to Kansas City. He didn't cry when he lost in the playoffs before. You sure about that? You sure that's the first time you saw that man shed tears? As much as winning means to Josh Allen, I'm quite sure it wasn't. But this particular instance, you tried to sell us that bunch of smoke about how that was the reason you made this decision. And again, the one who conveniently benefits across the board is Brandon Beane. If I sit up here and we've got friction, Shay, Sergeant Friday, J-Mac, we got friction all over the place at First Take, and I'm the only one that's standing up to benefit, I'm going to be able to sit back and walk around like I'm innocent? Really? That's going to sell? Who's buying that? Who's buying that? Brandon Beane got promoted to the presidency after the team failed. Really?
Agreed.
Ain't got nothing to do with that. Ain't nobody buying that. You ain't had those conversations. So the owner gonna sit up there and interrupt you answering a question from reporters to come to your defense. But y'all never had those conversations in his office. Hey. You never had those conversations while you sitting in Buffalo. It ain't like you got a bunch of stuff to do up in Western New York. You got plenty of time to have meetings. Okay, let's be real. You had those discussions before that press conference. Nobody's foolish here.
Yeah.
On.
Stephen A., the other part that hit me wrong about the Beane statement was the Josh Allen, right? Again, taking credit. I did this.
Right.
I did that. I'm gonna do, like, at some point, it's for what you're saying. It's the we. We're gonna rally. We're gonna rally. It may not have been the best decision, but we're gonna make the most of it. Whatever. Like, come about it in a different way. Effing all the fans and the people that support you. Come on, man. Like, nah.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of defensiveness from both Terry Pegula and Brandon Beane, and I'm not really understanding why. If it's from all the pushback of Sean McDermott, like the swearing, it's too much.